Hey guys, good morning. Red and black greetings. This is Flamengo in green and yellow, the colors of Brazil. It's the new red and black jersey that turned out awesome. I liked it a lot. Look, it's awesome. Really top notch. Amazing. We're arriving here at the airport. We're about to board now for Cleveland. The World Cup begins today with a friendly Brazil versus Egypt. There's a room on the other side. Yeah, it's a cool game. Yeah, we'll be at the stadium today, accredited, and later we'll bring you full coverage of Brazil and Egypt. Man, I'm really happy to be able to travel with the Brazilian national team. Now I can think a little about the World Cup. Yeah, forget a little about the rivalry and all that, but we have to bring news about Mengão, and there's important news about Mengão to share here. But since we're boarding for Cleveland and we're going to Brazil's game, I want to take this opportunity to give you this tip. If you're going to the World Cup, you need to be insured just like I am. That's right, isn't it? I have the spectacular travel insurance from Assist Assisti 365. Man, so I don't have to pay out of pocket if any emergency happens to me. My travel insurance guarantees me emergency coverage. Any emergency situation, I'll be covered. So you can look up Assist Assiste 365. I'll leave a QR code on the screen and also a link in the comments and description so you can get in touch with them too and get your quote right and make sure you have this amazing assistance. If you're traveling to Mexico, Canada, or the United States for the World Cup and want peace of mind, choose Assist Assiste 365. Since Brazil is playing, I'm also bringing you some spectacular odds at Esportiva Bet. Look, we're here to remind you to play responsibly, that it's for people over 18 and that fun is not an investment. All right, so the game is at 7 p.m. In the US, the game is at 6 p.m. In Brazil, it's at 7 p.m. Yeah, so Brazil and Egypt. And look, for new registrations made from June 4th midnight, people who registered from the 4th or who haven't registered yet and will do it now at Esportiva, I have a super odd for you, okay? 0.7 for Brazil to score a goal against Egypt. Brazil to score a goal against Egypt, you can go with 10 paparazzo, but then you'll have a limit there. Only real per person, isn't it worth it? It's worth it because when you register, you guarantee the chance to do it and your real will become 10 in your account. You'll have 10 raised in your account so you can play around, so you can place your little bet, right? Then you do it, take those 10 later, Brazil, man, it's pretty much certain that Brazil is going to do it, right? Brazil is going to do it.
Né? O Brasil vai fazer
A goal against Egypt. Man, if Brazil doesn't score a goal against Egypt, my friends, for God's sake, right? Close the account, call it a day, and then with Brazil scoring a goal against Egypt, you put 10 there in your bankroll so you can have some fun. And then you make that little World Cup parlay, and you already have some money in your bankroll to have some fun, right? So let's go. Remember that our other sponsors are also there. Pinned comment in the description. Haroldo's Caravan, the trip with Haroldo's Caravan, and also Mais Cabelo, the Mais Slim program from Mais Cabelo. And also thank you, Mate Leão, with us here, Leão Infusões, right? And man, the promotion is really cool. You too with the little lions, right? Man, that's awesome. Yeah, let's go. I already gave you the tip, man. It was a really good tip I gave you. And the tip from Leão is also a good one, right? Look at that little lion that you can get too, right? It could come, right? You're going to get your Leão Infusões box. And when you buy your Leão Infusões box, your tea, it'll be there. It could come with a little prize inside and you could be the lucky one. How cool is that? This one's really cool for me. Well, let's go. Yeah, let's bring all the information about this game coming up soon between Brazil and Egypt. Yeah, time goes by fast. It's coming up soon. 7 o'clock at night, right? Time flies. And we have all the information here to bring to you. Yeah, what's your guess? For me, it's 3-1 Brazil, huh? My guess is 3-1 Brazil. Yeah, we also have the game being broadcast on Globo, Sport TV, and Get TV. It's a friendly match on the road to 2026. The probable lineup for Brazil: Alisson, Wesley, Marquinhos, Leo Pereira, and Douglas Santos. Casimiro, Bruno Guimarães, Lucas Paquetá, Rafinha, Igor Thiago, and Vini Jr., okay? That's the probable team for Coach Carlo Ancelotti. Yeah, Neymar is still out since Neymar stayed in New Jersey for treatment, right? In Morristown. Neymar will keep doing this treatment to see if he'll be available for the game against Morocco or against Haiti. I believe he'll be better for the game against Haiti, okay? Against Haiti, Neymar should be in much better condition. Against Morocco, I don't believe Neymar will be there, 100% ready to play. He might come in at some point and all, but I think it's a very tough game for Neymar to come in. Honestly, I think that although Haiti won, right, Orfon? Haiti won against who? Against Peru. They were losing to Peru, lost after a comeback. They did beat New Zealand. Yeah, man. So I think this game against Haiti would be the ideal match for Neymar to come in. Against Morocco, it's a much tougher game. They were World Cup semifinalists recently in the last tournament, right? Was Morocco in the last World Cup? Yeah, I know. Hey, didn't Morocco reach the last World Cup semifinals? Do you remember? Morocco. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tougher match. Neymar, I feel like Neymar will get more minutes, more playing time. If that happens, it'll be against Haiti. But here's Egypt's probable lineup. Yeah, El Shana Shanawi, o Hani, Fatih, Yasser, Rabia, and Fatouf. Right? Yeah, Lakim Trezeguet. And Atia, Mohamed Salah, the Prince of Egypt on the field. Marmouchi too. And the coach, Hossam Hassan. The referee is Mexican, Adonai Escobedo. Assistants, Ibrahim Martinez and Maximiliano Gomez, also from Mexico. The whole team is from Mexico, okay? The VAR is Carlos Rivero. All right, now for some important transfer market news. Flamengo and Cruzeiro are getting ready for this round of 16 match in the Copa Libertadores. We know that Cruzeiro wants to sign about 3 or 4 players. They're trying to get 2 players from Racing. Yeah, Souza, they're after Souza. They're after players from Racing, looking for players who are important in South America, right? So Cruzeiro is out there looking to sign South American players. And now the news that came out is that Cruzeiro asked for information about Almada, okay? About Thiago Almada with Atlético de Madrid, all right? So they're also trying to work out a deal for Gabriel Pech, okay? Who currently plays in the MLS, okay? And his name has already been approved by Arthur Jorge. So they're looking for players already thinking about trying, right, to strengthen the team, thinking that they might have a very tough match against Flamengo. They will have a very tough match against Flamengo. They want to strengthen themselves for this round of 16 match and for the rest of the season. Their idea is to have about 3 or 4 signings, signed players. And they're also interested in Almada. Almada, who Flamengo fans are asking for, but Flamengo isn't considering, right? At least the information we have is that Flamengo is having trouble signing very expensive players, and that Flamengo isn't looking for expensive players in the midfielder and forward positions. They're going to scout. So, there's a chance they might sign a player who, in my opinion, would be ideal. Look how crazy that is. Imagine Cruzeiro signing Almada, who I think would be perfect to replace Arrascaeta, right? So Romario Jr. also from Flamengo's backstage bringing this information. Bola VIP bringing this information too. He's not playing at Atletico de Madrid and will likely be transferred. Yeah, the Madrid team wants to get around 20 million euros. That's 118 million reais at the current exchange rate. Those are really high figures. For example, Flamengo just spent 42 on Paquetá, right? And we know it's unlikely they'll be able to spend much now in this transfer window. So, according to the information, Cruzeiro's management tried to understand the chances. They've already signed an attacking midfielder, but they were also surprised by the demands from the Spaniards, who only want to give up 50% of the economic rights at that price. That's the thing, right? 50%. That's the amount we're talking about. Here's the information. Look at this information. This is new. The amount they're asking for, 20 million euros, is for 50% of Almada, okay? Yeah, Arthur Jorge is a big fan of Almada's game. And the issue, just like for Flamengo and other teams, is the price. It's a very high price, considered very high. Discussing the transfer market. Here's key information from Pablo Rafael Rua, who also shares valuable transfer market information. Yeah, he confirmed about Flamengo's priority for a midfielder and a forward. Yeah, and there's a lot of talk that Flamengo could, in this June July transfer window, sign a left back because Flamengo actually made some inquiries about left backs. But Flamengo extended Alexandro's contract, and this contract extension for Alexandro might have changed Flamengo's plans, okay? The fans are curious, wanting to understand what might be happening. Is Flamengo going to sign a left back or not? But according to Pablo Rafael Rua, Flamengo wants a player for the position, but it's not the priority right now for this transfer window. We're discussing the 2026 mid-year transfer window, right? With Alexandro staying on, okay? And, he still has plenty of time left on his contract, unless an offer comes in for Ayrton Lucas, guys. Flamengo is negotiating Ayrton Lucas with the two players they have at fullback, because they consider Ayrton Lucas a national team player. Alexandro too. World Cup, he's in the World Cup. So they consider them both to be high quality players. And if the board couldn't renew Alexandro's contract, then they would start looking as early as June. That's why Flamengo was in the market looking for some names. Okay, so Flamengo believes that position is well covered. It's good, yeah, they're in very good shape at fullback. There are two national team level players on the left. There's Varela, who's on the Uruguayan national team, on the right, and Royal, who's also a player, right? A player who's improving. His soccer is improving with Leonardo Jardim. So Flamengo believes they're well covered at fullback, and they won't need to sign anyone right now, okay? So that's information from Pablo Rua. That Flamengo, even with this search they've done for left back players, won't focus on that in this mid-year transfer window, all right? Flamengo's priority remains then an attacking midfielder and a forward as another option behind Pedro, okay? Yeah, we've already mentioned here that if some players leave, Flamengo will replace them, right? That's the situation with Carrascal. Flamengo is evaluating options for the position. And if they do end up moving Carrascal, moving Luis Araujo, right? We've already talked about this. If Flamengo moves a player, either Carrascal or Luis Araujo, Flamengo will look for an option to replace those who leave. But right now, the intention is to get a midfielder or a forward. And other positions might come too, but they're not a priority. The priority now is scouting. It's young players for the midfielder and forward positions. That's it. Please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Thanks for your company. Red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Thanks.